Afternoon YouTubers, back here with the Class 25 Maxitrak 5-inch scale. I want to point out the wiring for the motors. You do them in pairs. So you have your negative from that side that goes back to the controller. Positive is on the other side. So what you do, you go link your positive to your negative, and then you've got your ordinary, the other positive on this side, which goes back to the controller. And when you get the two motors, all you do is you've got your two cables. You've got two cables like that, on there, on there. All you do is put your positive, positive, negative, negative, back to the controller. This is how it's made up. The instructions are not 100% clear. It's a bit of guesswork. What you need to do is, because you've got your drive gear here, obviously that has got this gap here, it's got to be wider than that gap. So what you need to do is, if you can see, this will give you some idea how it goes together. So they do show the screws coming up the other way, the bolts with a nut on the top here. I just thought it looked a bit neater putting it the other way around. I don't know, I might be wrong, I don't know. But there's the drawing. There's your two motors, and there's your four motors. I hope that's you can understand that. I'll just move that out of the way. So you've got your negative, then you've got your positive on the other side, then you link your positive to your negative, and then your positive goes back to a connection block, and then you run one cable from your connection block positive to the controller, and the same on the other one. All you do then is you get your four motors all together. So you'll have two negatives, and you'll have two positives. Goes into the block, and then one cable goes back to the controller. I hope I've described that in the right way. I've had them running. They're running both the same way, which is important. If they don't run the same way, all you do is swap the wires round. But what I found was, if you start with your negative over here, and then obviously your positive on that side, and the same, I've done the same here. I even marked them up with a black line and make sure I didn't get them wrong. And then I've followed the pattern all the way down. So all 8 motors go in sequence. So then you can't get the one going back to front on the same axle. Well, sorry, on the same bogie set. It sounds more complicated than it is. I've never wired up motors like that before, but it works. I'm very happy with it. Yeah. What I'll do, I'll show you what I've done with the body. I'll just go outside and show you what I've done with the body. I've done quite a lot of work with the body. I've cut all the windows out. Anyway, I'll show you. Yeah, here we are outside. This is the Class 25 body. I've cut all the windows out, as you can see. It is a bit fiddly, and these, I will just say, these here are one pain in the backside. And what I did, I cut the hole out the same diameter as this. But what I've noticed, I think what they do in factory, they taper the back of this and drill a smaller hole, which I wish I'd have done, because I hate to see all this filler. but that's the only way around it. So that's your 25. I'll show you some of the tools I used to cut these holes out. And you need to wear a mask. Please wear a mask when you're doing this, because it's fiberglass and it's not very nice stuff. But these are some of the tools I used. I went in with a hole cutter, various sizes. I know that's a bit of a big one, but that's the sort of thing I used. And then I went in, once I got the hole cut out, I went in with an electric file. This has been a godsend, absolute godsend. It cost me £41 on eBay, and it's just brilliant. I've done all those holes and I've only used one band. It's quite nice and I think it's 220. I think it is. I think it's a 220. I bought a pack of them, thinking I'm going to burn straight through them, no problem. But no, it's absolutely fantastic. Then, once you've done all that, you have to start drilling all these little holes. And I don't want to put you off, but there's 850 rivets have to go in there, and they're on there. The detailing on this is absolutely stunning. I love it. There's a bit of rubbing down to do. That's where all these are rivets. There's a mesh that goes over there. I made a cradle for it so it can just hold it in place and you're not marking it up. Keep tipping it over on the bench. But yeah, I made a vent for the top. I don't know if I'm going to keep this one. I've just taped it in for the moment. I've got a smoke unit ready for it, which I made, and so I'm having lights. I'll have the lights fitted. I've got all the gear. Got my batteries now. I bought 2 scooter batteries, 36 amp hours. They reckon they've got 20 hours life in them per charge. But seeing is believing, or trying is believing. So yeah, there's still a lot of work to do. Rubbing down this particular model is essential. You've got to get rid of these mould marks here. There's mesh fits in there as well. In there. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lots of mesh on the top. That's mesh. That one over there, that's a mesh with rivets going around. Anyway, all in all, it's a fantastic model. I say it's 53 inches long. I think that's the body. I'll just run you inside to the shed and show you some of the components for the bogies and other bits and pieces, and the actual chassis is in there. Yeah, these are some of the components for the bogies. The bogie sets have to be stuck on. I just painted those up. There's the chassis. I just painted the fronts. I've got all the detailing as well. This is the back end. You do have to drill these out. That's where the control cable goes in. It's quite a big heavy old thing. Obviously it's masked up at the moment. I found that these are the body supports. This is upside down, but these are the body supports. As you can see, there's not a lot to stick it to. I've used epoxy And what I did, I've got a 3D printer, and I printed this block off here. So I've stuck the block to that, and then I've stuck the body. This bracket is to make sure the body is level. So when you drop it on, it parks itself in the right place, and the body is all level. Yeah, nice. I drilled and screwed them to start with. It wasn't right, so I've got a little bit of work to fill the holes in on there. But yeah, there's not a lot of meat, as I can say. I might do a bit of a close-up on this one. As you can see, there's not a lot of meat, and see, that's where I drilled the holes to get it to fix, but I wasn't happy with it. I took it all apart. So yeah, in the instructions it says stick them on. Yeah, well, I stuck them on, and anyway, so that's my little block I made up. You could probably put a piece of sterling, piece of plastic, anything, just to bond that to the chassis, and then bond that to this block, the levelling block, and it is all nice and level. Yeah, there's a lot of work in it, hell of a lot of work. I didn't realise. I've built little steam engines and built them in 3 or 4 days, had them running, but this is a lot of work. A lot of touching up to do, obviously, because these mouldings are absolutely brilliant. I love these mouldings. There is a plate that goes on top of there, and you've got to drill these out here. They supply self-tappers, and then the steel plate goes over there, and it covers from there. It leaves the springs exposed, leaves that exposed, and then leave that spring, and then it comes down to there. And it's a nice cover for the actual bogies. Well, I'm going to leave you there. I'm going to crack on with it. Hopefully the next one I shall have the electrics in, batteries wired up, and so there we go. Anyway, YouTubers, train buffs, this is the Maxitrak Class 25 5-inch scale that runs on a 5-inch track. It's not 5 inches, it's 5-inch track, 5-inch wide track. So yeah, and it's capable of pulling up to 10 passengers, between 8 and 10 passengers. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'll probably have a test run in a couple of weeks' time, depending on the weather. Go down to my railway society, see how we can get on with that. Okay then, I've baffled on and wobbled on a bit too much. I'll leave you to it then. So, see you later. Bye bye.